All right, finally done with May 1940 and on into June 1940. Boy, howdy, I am going through World War II at slower than real time. At this pace, it is going to take me several years to get through World War II and finally get to Combat Mission Cold War. And oh man, the footage for that looks. I'm excited to get around to playing that, but at this pace, it's going to be years. But whatever. Early World War II is also a fun setting, and I'm gonna get around to it all eventually. Anywho, uh, it's early June 1940. I set it in my um, scenario ordering as the 4th of June. I think for when the scenario description doesn't give me an exact date but says early June, I give it a random date between, or but early part of the month, I give it a random date between the 1st and the 10th. When it's some mid, when it says mid part of the month, random date between the 10th and the 20th, and late part of the month, I give it a random date between the 20th and 30th. Anywho, this is okay. Northern France, early June 1940. The disasters and lack of political will shown during the early days of the war continue to plague the French war effort. However, some French units uh, fight on with skill and bravery. Difficulty German easy, French challenging, balance pro-German. Okay, scenario setup warning. Yeah, that's all. That's for stuff. That's stuff for people who care about balance. The spring of 1940 was to produce defeat, so cataclysmic for France that its repercussions are still felt today. On the 10th, okay, that's all background stuff. Okay. Pretty sure there is. Yeah, there's does seem to be an AI plan for both sides. So default playing axis. I did actually have to go in and I've been combing through the upcoming scenarios for France 1940 um, to make sure there are no anachronistic vehicles or formations in there. There were some MG42s here that I had to replace with MG34s because MG42s start showing up in a couple of years. They're not available for the Battle of France. Um, I think I replaced some some tank variants with versions that were available for the Battle of France in this one. Hopefully, I didn't screw up any AI plans by swapping out units. The editor here is a little bit different than for Combat Mission 2, the Combat Mission 2 engine. So I didn't actually see an AI plan tab or anything. So I'm not sure how AI planning works. None of the units seem to be assigned to AI groups. So it's possible I have horribly screwed up some AI planning. Um, but we'll see. In any case, pretty much all the stuff here should be period appropriate. None of it stuff that didn't enter service until months or a year or two later. Okay, I am Hauptmann Manfred von Feldheim, commanding the vanguard of the 49th Infantry Division. You are leading your division on a methodical advance south into France to the east of Paris. Operation briefing. The last 2 days have been a movement against repeated French roadblocks and dead ends caused by bridge demolitions. Your men are tired but moving forward with determination. You receive reports from your ever-roaming armored cars and motorcyclists that a larger than normal roadblock is forming just north of the village of Route Ruede. Half of that probably isn't even pronounced friggin' French. Uh, oh, and that was the start of the very next sentence. But you have been preparing for this type of action. A flanking force already on the move will concentrate at Rouette and cut off the French roadblock. Your men will surround and annihilate the defenders. Mission: secure this area and its vital bridges. Okay, and there's the list of objectives. You'll see plenty of objective flags to spot that. Okay. Forces under my command: 1 Company HQ, myself, and 1 infantry platoon, motorized, dismounted. Reserves: a recce platoon, 1 motorcycle section, Kubelwagons used to represent the motorcycles as usual, 3 tank platoons from various units, 1 75mm FO, 6 infantry platoons, mixture of mechanized, motorized, and foot mobile from various units, 1 anti-aircraft section, mechanized, 1 infantry gun section, 1 pioneer platoon with an anti-tank rifle, minus, 1 MG section. Intelligence: our troops are moving with ease down from the north. Blown bridges and roadblocks are slowing us down, but in your heart you know the French cannot stop you. Victory shall be ours. As you near the area of the reported roadblock, you hear firing coming from the village of Rouette, or the commander of the flanking party reports by radio, village secured. The enemy escape route is cut. Scenario notes. You quickly check by radio with your other units on the radio net. All is well. You bring your own advance to halt as you wait for your other units to close the bag around the enemy. As you move among the hasty defensive positions your men have taken, you automatically check the lay and fields of fire of a keen infantry squad. Its sergeant asks, "What shall our battle cry be today, sir?" You think for a moment and remember a custom of your Prussian relatives during the Napoleonic Wars when fighting the French imperial armies. They had developed an odd phrase to shout to tell the sergeant, when you fire at the enemy, shout, "Je t'aime." The Frenchmen will enjoy your message even more. MG armed Panzer 1s are shown as Panzer 2Cs, but lack main gun ammo. Panzer 2Fs, which I have replaced with Panzer 2Cs, but they're regular gun armed Panzer 2Cs, are they gun armed Panzer 2s? So, okay, so I just need to keep track of which of my Panzer 2Cs have main gun ammo and which of them don't. The ones without any main gun ammo are Panzer 1s, canonically. But yeah, I have replaced all Panzer 2Fs with Panzer 2Cs in the editor because there are no Panzer 2Fs in the Battle of France. Those show up in 1941, and it makes a difference whether it's a Panzer 2C or a Panzer 2F, because Panzer 2Fs have like 30 millimeters of frontal armor to a Panzer 2C's 16 millimeters of frontal armor. Okay, some French vehicles are represented by equivalent British equipment. I think I did swap some of that out. I saw Crusader Mark IIs in the editor, which I guess I don't know exactly what French tank that's supposed to be roughly equivalent to. I do know, because I have checked on this before, that the Italian M13/40s are a good stand-in for some French tanks, specifically the AMC-35, so I use those instead. I don't know specifically what French tanks is a Crusader Mark II going to be a good stand-in for. And then also there is a British Matilda II in there that I didn't delete or swap out with anything. It's not a good stand-in for any French tanks, but there might still be a Matilda II kicking around in France. I mean, probably not, but it's only out of date by a few days. There would have been plenty of them in France a few days ago, so it's not that anachronistic. So I left it in, and I didn't know what to replace it with, because I assumed they wanted something that could represent a Char B1, and Matilda II is a better choice for that than an M3 Lee, but there really is no no good standing for Sharpie ones if you want those in Counteraction Afrika Korps. Just kind of have to do without. Anywho, let's load this up and start actually... That is a lot of objectives. Okay. Well, the battlefield does kind of seem to be pretty readily broken up into 3 sections by these 2 rivers here. So we got a middle section, kind of a far section here, and then we got the north section. Okay. North section, south section, middle section. So, north section is dominated by this forest here, which has a bit of a gap in the middle here. This river appears to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 potential crossing points, of which 2 are crossable by vehicles, the other 4 being fords that are only crossable by infantry, I assume. Can vehicles cross fords? Yeah, they might be able to. Yeah, I think vehicles can cross fords. I mean, I assume there's an extra risk of bogging, but... Okay. Right, and there aren't a whole lot of... Alright, I reduced the UI, the scale of units, because apparently you can do that with, yes, Shift C in it's neat. You can go from, you know, fairly large and easy to find and command, is very convenient, or fairly small and probably more accurate to the actual scale. Although, considering that the infantry don't have a 1-to-1 sprite ratio. Yeah, they don't have a 1-to-1 sprite ratio anyway, or model ratio. There's probably no harm in having them a little bit bigger and easier to see anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it like that, though. Okay. So do I have any forces anywhere else I should... But it does look like we have a fairly extensive deployment zone, so I have options. That... This is distinct from my deployment zone, right? It's the same color. Huh. I can set troops up over here in this village if I want to. That is part of my deployment zone. How interesting. I wonder how or whether I should use that. I do not have a lot of troops to start with, but I have a lot of freedom in where I put them. I think possibly representing the fact that we have outmaneuvered the French in this area. Oh, definitely don't want Hauptmann von Wildheim all by his lonesome here. Let's group him back up over here. Let's come up with a plan of some sort. Well, I have all these objectives in the middle that I need to take. And I don't know where most of my forces are gonna be showing up. Does the briefing tell me roughly where the reinforcements are going to be coming in from? Because that could be helpful. Our troops are moving with these down from the north. Okay, they'll be coming from the north. So, from this way, probably along this road, infantry probably showing up in the trees here. I'll probably be able to more or less just kind of swarm in. For this initial platoon on map, a couple things I could try to do with them. Oh, FO. That's good. Try to make good use of them this time. One of these days, I am going to get much better at using my forward observers effectively. The artillery is the most powerful tool I have available on the battlefield, and I really should get good at using it efficiently. So, I could maybe have these guys positioned to take an objective like this one early on, or I could scatter them about and use them to kind of recon as much of the map as possible without really moving. They won't have the concentration of force necessary to actually move in and capture much of the map if I do that, or any part of the map if I do that, but they might be able to provide effective reconnaissance so that the follow-on forces can do that more effectively. Ooh, speaking of... If I did position this guy over here right at the... Okay, that would be almost, though not quite, completely useless from a forward observation standpoint. Most of the map is blocked from there. Let's keep everyone over here until I actually make some definitive decisions on where to put everyone. Yeah, okay, I have a platoon of infantry that may be enough to sort of sneak up here and take this objective, and one objective down, and then the follow-on forces can focus on taking the rest. Alternatively, got like 4 rifle squads, I could separate them out and put them all in 4 completely different parts of the map. They would not have the strength necessary to actually fight anyone and win and capture any objectives, but I would be able to spread them out enough to get maximum observation and recon done to allow me to deploy my follow-on forces more effectively. I'm going to give each squad the goal of reconning some other part of the map and get as much observation on there as possible until the follow-on forces arrive. And you know, given the number of objectives there are, and the number of reinforcements I'm expecting, that might actually be the more valuable thing to do than just capture one objective. Yeah, it could give me a pretty good idea of what I'm facing around the rest of the map. So I'm starting to lean towards that option, doing something like that, and that would take the most advantage of just how much freedom they're giving me in where I deploy my troops. When am I expecting? I only have 35 minutes. So that's going to be the main pressure on me is going to be coming from the time limit. So if I can't count on my reinforcements showing up pretty quickly, then I may actually just want to start trying to take objectives with what I've got. Okay. Okay, do not read beyond this point until turn 12. We'll see if I remember to come back to that at turn 12. Alright. Suppose at this point I'm thinking... I don't know when the first reinforcements are going to be arriving exactly. Yeah, I should send the platoon I've got right now straight towards taking this objective. It'll provide some observation onto future objectives, and it kind of commands this bridge here and this bridge to a slightly lesser extent, but yeah, it's still pretty commanding over that bridge. So, you know, my best river crossing options here. Although arguably one of these other routes might be, you know, somewhat less expected. So yeah, I'm gonna go for concentration of effort down onto that town there. And I think I want... Oh, I can't... I can give my FO orders, I think, to bring artillery down on a particular objective, even if they don't have direct sight on it in the first turn. Oh, hello, kitten. No, stay off of my computer. I don't have a weapons squad in this platoon, do I? I had some machine guns. About here would be the place to put them. Overwatching that town. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to plan as far as this platoon's attack on this small cluster of buildings here. Any further follow-on planning will be done when reinforcements start arriving, or, you know, after this objective is taken. They're going to limit the scope of planning to this objective with these forces. So, yes, what kind of terrain am I looking at? I've got soft ground there, road there, fairly regular open ground here. I've got a cluster of buildings kind of flanked by woods on the left and right. These ones getting a little bit closer. Got some light trees leading almost directly into the town. Okay, so just came back from having the recording paused for a bit, so what was instantaneous to you was a couple hours to me running the dog around and getting other stuff done. But right, I was planning an infantry platoon assault on a small cluster of buildings, forest kind of enveloping it a little bit on either side, some light woods here going right up to some of the buildings, heavy woods going up on the left side, probably getting the closest. Meaning that the approach that might make the most sense would be to move the infantry platoon around this way. Yeah, move the infantry platoon around this way and assault via the shortest path into this building and then on into the other buildings from there. I do have an FO. Would be really nice if I had like a weapons squad or something, you know, some medium machine guns here that I could set up like there and somewhere that has good line of sight on another building. Yeah, perhaps about there or there even, to provide some suppressing fire, but I think suppressing fire will be provided by the FO. Drop some artillery rounds on there as the infantry are moving up into positions on this corner of the woods here. Yeah, they will there be potentially taking fire from these three buildings, but they should be suppressed by the artillery. The moment the artillery, the turn after the barrage lifts, I don't know, I haven't used artillery in enough CM1 scenarios to know how long it takes for that to lift. Hopefully I'll, if there's any delay on that. But yeah, the moment it lifts, we charge across this. We do have the gridded terrain. I didn't intend to have gridded terrain on, but I can use that, actually. How long is each grid? About 15 meters or so. Unfortunately, there's square grids, and I'm really charging across the diagonal of some of them, but 1, 2, 3, 4-ish. So, 60, 70 meters or so. They should still be pretty suppressed by the time we finish charging the distance and entering the first building. You get several teams set up in... Well, actually get most of the squads set up in several of the floors. And from there, use that to gain fire spear to the rest of the buildings. Probably have another squad charge along and take possession of this building. Some of the squads occupying this building, then charge across and take the remainder of the buildings. And then from there, we have commanding positions over that bridge, overlooking that bridge. We can start to get a good idea of what sort of defenses are there and destroy them. and also, start gaining fire superiority over this bridge, and get observation on this bridge and see, what are we dealing with there. And yeah, basically from here we'll start planning what to do for these next few objectives, deciding whether or not I need to wait for follow-on forces, or whether I can take them with the forces I have on hand. Probably set up the FO in the top floor of that building, which I test. It's not gonna let me just kind of look at the building heights. They look like 3-story buildings. I have no way of testing how line of sight is from there, other than just kind of trying to look out of the windows myself from here. But it looks like you can get okay observation from this building. Ooh, can we see over... not quite. Well, this one, maybe. Maybe for its poor observation on the bridge, this building might be better for stationing an FO. And honestly, the bridge might be a little close to put an FO anyway. Close of a target for an FO to deal with. Okay. So then, before we can actually launch the attack on the town, I need to get my squads in position. Alright. We'll be doing a bit of a movement to contact here, so we'll move in a wedge forward a bit, and then wheel right. We'll get the whole platoon stacked up at the edge of the woods. 2 squads will rush while the other 2 cover. Then the other 2 squads rush. While we're moving, the FO, who has line of sight, will be calling in artillery on the center of this town in the hopes of suppressing everyone around. The barrage, I'll order the barrage to lift as soon as these troops reach the edge of the forest, and they will launch the assault as soon as the barrage actually does lift. Hopefully, when they arrive at their positions, the enemy will still be dazed and unable to fight effectively. Okay. Do want to... I mean, a little late to do anything about it, but just double check that there are no other troops elsewhere on the map that I missed. Okay. It would seem not. So, forward observer. You... Hang on. I think the area of effect is at, what, like 200 meters in diameter? Okay, so yeah, the whole building cluster should be affected if I drop some arty right in the middle. yeah, there is no delay if the firing takes place on the first turn. And unfortunately, in CM1, there is no adjusting fire orders for barrages of, you know, medium intensity, heavy intensity, light intensity. There's no way to adjust the intensity of the barrage, since this barrage is meant to suppress rather than destroy, and it could need to keep up that suppression for a couple of minutes. I'd really rather a light or medium intensity rather than heavy intensity, because I want sustainability without, I keep the enemy's heads down without using more ammunition than necessary. But no way to do that in this engine, so we'll just make do with what we got, and got the default fire intensity, so let's go. No artillery is landing just yet. Look at the details on some of these German infantry here. Yeah, I am halfway through France 1940. We're into the beginning of June here. We're done with May. And then once I'm done with France 1940, we're going to be moving to North Africa, combat mission Afrika Korps intended setting, which means I'll be deleting these beautiful Western, or uninstalling these beautiful Western Europe mods, which will, basically mean I'll be deleting the current folder I've got, the current BMP folder I've got, and replacing it with the backup I made before installing the mods. Anyway, artillery is landing. Yes, and it is landing in just about the perfect area of effect to suppress this target. And actually, the intensity isn't too high. There you are, FO. Actually, you're a little bit closer to the edge of the woods than would be ideal. It's not a lot of ammo. Oh, they reached the edge. They finished those orders sooner than I expected them to. That's okay. A moment to rest isn't a bad thing. Okay, not really a whole lot to examine. Oh, reinforcements are already here. Where are they? Alright, let's... Oh, they're not there. Huh. They said reinforcements arrived, but the only for... Oh, okay. We got someone over here. Couple of half-tracks. Well, a half-track and an armored car. Problem with keeping the units at this scale, which is probably a more accurate representation of actual size, and sizing up to this scale, or maybe this one, which will make them a little bit easier to see. Kind of have to toggle through it. I think I'm going to keep it at the probably most accurate scale. Okay, and I am going to have you move to contact forward towards that bridge. And you is, I mean, recon element. No point in moving into contact with a larger than necessary force. Move towards this bridge, stopping the moment you come under fire. Because your job as recon forces is to feel out the enemy, find where they are, and if it turns out that they aren't defending those bridges, then might as well take them for our own. But I'm expecting they are, and if they are, I'm not expecting you guys to be able to take them on your own. Okay. Okay, so we run to the edge of the woods this turn. Means the artillery... Oh. You know what? I am going to have you cancel that target. There's... Wait a minute. Can I not cancel that target? Do I really have to fire to completion? Oh, bugger. That, I was not thinking I would have to fire off all of my arty in a preliminary plan. Was there some way to set how long it would fire for that maybe I didn't see? Something to keep in mind next time. Oh, bugger. I really hope I don't have to fire off this whole mission. Because, for one thing, that'll have my guys waiting in the woods longer than I want them to. I want them to launch their attack as soon as they're in position. But, I mean, no sense attacking an objective that is actively being bombarded. Do I... There's really no way to cancel this. Huh. Well... Crap. Gonna... have him run into the woods, breaking line of sight, and see if that does anything. Hmm. Yeah, that's not good. That's a problem. Oh, I do have more forces. Alright. An additional platoon. 50mm mortar. Company HQ, additional 50mm mortars. Okay, so we got two 50mm mortars. And these guys are just about set up right, in the right spot to maybe move towards this objective. They do have... They do have to cross a river to get to this objective. I do not know if the river is contested. Oh, and another platoon over here. Okay. the outline markers scale up as well. Which is why I didn't catch them the first time around. Was there anyone else over... Okay, that is for sure everyone. And I'm gonna have the interface controls of Gen 1 combat mission down pat by the time I am moving on to Gen 2 combat mission. Okay, so we've got a platoon over here, a platoon over here. I'm gonna have the platoon leader dismount with his platoon. Kugelwagens, I don't have anything for the Kugelwagens to do. I'm gonna use this armored car to hang back and provide a little bit of fire support. I think the initial move is this platoon should maybe move down along this forest and get a little bit closer to the chateau. Okay, to about here-ish. And how should they close the rest of the distance? To get the mortars set up along here, they could suppress the chateau a little bit. Now let's get the preliminary orders going. I'm just gonna order... Ooh, sharpshooter. I don't think I have anything special for the sharpshooter to do, but yeah. Alright, yeah, so the first move is just gonna be... We're gonna move the platoon down the woods a little bit closer to the chateau. And probably we're going to just conduct a fairly simple line up and get 'em style of attack. And have that armored car start pushing forward a little bit, but not too much. These foxholes here, or those craters? Seems like an awfully neat line of craters there. Everywhere where I'm seeing them looks like a not bad spot to be trying to defend, so I'm betting those are probably foxholes. Meaning I could be facing quite significant numbers of dug-in enemy troops. so they're gonna move down there. Then I'm gonna take them out, and probably what I'll want, they'll have a couple of squads cross the road. That might bring them dangerously close to a possible defensive position there. But I do want them reasonably fanned out at the edge of the woods along the river. Then have half of the platoon traverse the river at a time. Well, have the platoon traverse the river one squad at a time, with the remaining squads covering. Could treat our right flank with some respect there. Just in case that area is occupied. Okay. And see if I can find some way to break this barrage here. Because, well, this area is probably occupied. It's probably not so heavily occupied to justify using all of my ammo on it. Alright, recon vehicles are moving out. Alright, no efforts to... Oh, well... The arty spotter is at least almost out of ammo. Alright, reinforcements. Where are you? Okay, forces are dropping in all over the place. We got these French thoroughly outmaneuvered. Let's take another look at the briefing. Okay. Okay. Ah, okay. We've got a flanking party, or probably, by the looks of it, multiple flanking parties. Yeah. Yeah, enemy escape route is definitely cut. There isn't really a lot of room for them to be getting away. I assume there are Frenchmen around here somewhere. I think I'm gonna move this platoon kind of across this way. We're gonna move them more or less straight towards that objective. I'd have to swing pretty far left to get to the cover of these woods, which might bring me into danger of contact over here. Probably no reason not to just head straight in. I don't see a whole lot of advantage to going any other route. Alright. It looks like this FO is almost out of ammo. In fact, actually, let's have him move right back up to the edge of the woods. So do I take a risk and start running now? Risking that there's still enough shells coming that I'm going to end up taking some casualties? Or do I take another risk and wait till next turn to run, taking the risk that actually there aren't many shells left to fall, and by the time a whole minute has elapsed, the enemy will no longer be suppressed? Which is the greater risk? I'll take the least risky option. In this case, I think it's the middle ground option. Wait 30 seconds. Well, no. I do still need to keep time into it. Take time into account. Oh. Oh. For some reason, I hit move rather than run. Okay, now I want them pause a little bit longer to give a little bit more time for the shells to fall, left of them. And you two will make your dashes at the end of the turn. And we have some an organization to deal with over on this end of things. Alright, that looks like a good spot for the mortar. He's already going towards a good spot, and we're going to adjust that spot a little bit. Give them one more turn to get in a position and rest up a little bit, and then they're going to start bounding towards the chateau. And And I'll go ahead and give you a couple more orders. You a little bit closer to the chateau. I mean, your distance at this point ain't bad. Might as well get a little closer, though. Not like our anti-armor weapons are terribly pervasive just yet. Oh, hearing fire coming from somewhere. Oh, I already have credit for that. Where's the fire coming from? Ah, over there somewhere. There. That's where it... Oh, God. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that is very not good. You know, I do not have a plan to deal with that. I really do not. Where am I going to move him that's not going to be in that AT gun's line of fire? And even if that's a 25mm AT gun, this is an armored car. It's not going to be able to hold up against really anything. Oh, okay, yeah, that didn't take long. Well, the armor car, it reacted in an appropriate way, trying to reverse back into in the only safe direction that that I could think of, or that I could think of. It was just, yeah, screwed the moment I put it in that spot, in that situation. Starting our advance over here. We are starting to actually get some spots on the enemy here. Looks like maybe we've kind of caught them off guard and they are rushing into position. Okay, definitely want to rush troops into these front buildings. I'm gonna skip that house. Oh. Oh, Control F to turn on and off objective viewing. I'm just finding all sorts of interesting functions here. Okay, apparently no extra reinforcements this turn. Not that I necessarily have any shortage. Oh, hey. How's it going? You move down this road. Your 20mm gun ready to support this infantry platoon here. And you top floor of that building. You top floor of that building. Oh, right. Never mind. You're useless now. Because I fucked up. Oh, and we got a machine gun there now. What can I do with you? Maybe I can have you overwatch this bridge over here? Maybe. Maybe. Could also have you support actions over here. Yeah, you know, there's options. It doesn't look like there's any other forces I'm forgetting about. Yeah, okay, so... if I move you over here, you're kind of semi-isolated, but also kind of supported by the troops over in the Fermi de Mouton. I think I'm gonna move you left, though. Alright, if you run there, you run there. Right, MG34. You could be useful. Dismount into the woods. Yeah, about there. You guys have a little bit further to go before you need fresh orders. And the presence of anti-tank weapons means I should be a little bit more cautious with the movement of my armored vehicles. Yeah. How is your line of sight? Could be better. Could be worse. Okay. Okay, I don't think I have any further orders to give this turn. Let's go on the next turn. Ah, another enemy anti-tank gun identified. Ooh, but it is under fire now. My sharpshooter. 600 meters. And how is this itty-bitty half-track not already destroyed? I mean, the only explanation is obviously this has to be a 25 mil. But even that, well, I mean, it's getting through. It just hasn't hit anything terribly important just yet. And that's impressive. This sharpshooter's taking pot shots at him from 600 meters. I mean, that's not unreasonable for a sharpshooter, but still impressive. I'd be super impressed if that sniper could actually take out that AT gun, the whole crew, from this range. Like, either kill the crew or make them abandon the gun. Either or. I'm just as long as the gun is out of action, I don't care if the crew is dead or run off. Okay, but there's no way that half-track is going to survive the turn. Okay, the rate of fire of that gun, it has to be a 25 mil, because I don't know of any other anti-tank gun that has that kind of rate of fire. Ooh, wow. I was right to rush some guys forward here. Move quickly to take the rest of these buildings. Okay, finally. God dang, that half-track tanked quite a number of rounds. But okay, that's unfortunate, but that's what recon forces are for. They move forward, they take the risks, and they do sometimes get knocked out. But as long as they get knocked out in the process of, you know, as long as I lose them in the process of finding the enemy, they've done their job. So, but yeah, come to think of that. Oh, I can't give you any fresh orders right now because I'm doing turn-based, but you have done your job of bumping into the enemy there, which means I should get you back into safety. You have done your job as a recon element. You have bumped into the enemy. Okay, but we are starting now to put some fire on enemy forces crossing that bridge. Actually, yeah, managing to deny the bridge to them, I think. If I still had that FO in action, this would be a good target for him. You know, okay, so this platoon can probably handle the chateau, especially since we haven't taken any fire from it just yet. Maybe we'll take fire from it next turn. But maybe I should redirect this platoon back up here. Attack this trench at that angle there. And take out that AT gun. Hey, sniper. And so you've got 8 rounds left. And there you had 9, there you have 10. So you have fired 2 rounds at that anti-tank gun since the beginning of the turn. Given that the range is 600 meters, yeah, I get that. There's not really any way of knowing whether or not he's hit. Yeah, whether or not he's actually hit anyone. Between, the range, 600 meters is quite a long way off to be shooting enemy targets. And of course, there's all this terrain between him and the target. That looks like there's at least a couple of trees there. Not exactly the easiest of shots. This team is managing to suppress the guy a little bit. I don't think he inflicted any casualties. I think we can push forward a little bit just with this platoon. At least onto this end of the bridge. I don't know for sure whether or not I'll be able to push onto the other end of the bridge, but possibly. Ah, more reinforcements. Where are you at, reinforcements? It looks like there... Oh, it gives you... Yes. Okay, so we got another armored car coming up. That seems to be the extent of the reinforcements, actually. While I'm thinking about it, let's, You run away. You've done your job. No sense putting you at any greater risk, at any additional risk for any longer. You guys, actually, I want to split you guys up into teams. Line up along these scattered trees there. Take a look at these teams. This scale makes command and control a little bit more difficult, but I do kind of like how it looks. But okay, let's size everyone back up for the time being, just for easy command and control. Alright, so we'll kind of take out into a long skirmish line along these trees here. That's maybe a little spread out for one squad. Yeah, okay, that's all fine. Then we'll push straight in towards this objective here. I don't know, I have a couple options for what to do with this platoon here. I could have them push straight in and take this objective, and, you know, maybe this pair of objectives. Or maybe I could concentrate them, push them through the woods here, and have them, in combination with this platoon, secure this bridge. Once the bridge is secured, we can then have an easier time pushing on towards these objectives. Let's see, if I push straight in on this objective here, platoon can then swing around and maybe occupy these woods here, which would also have the effect of securing the other end of this bridge. I think I should see if I can try to take both ends of this bridge just with this platoon alone. That doesn't leave much to hold this town or continue overwatching this bridge here. I certainly don't have any forces to peel off to take this bridge over here or these crossroads beyond. We'll see. This is a very one step at a time sort of battle. Yeah, there's enough of an orders delay that by the time you start running, the first two squads will be in their intended positions. So, go ahead and keep moving. And get you moving. You guys... You know, taking out this position isn't immediately urgent. You guys do have good line of sight on the rear of the chateau, which will be useful for supporting this platoon in taking the chateau. So you guys are going to stay where you are. And shoot at anyone who pops their heads up in this chateau prior to our platoon taking it. Once the chateau objective is under our control, you guys head back up this way and assault towards this little hill here. And clear out the enemy anti-tank gun as well as any other enemy infantry that may be up here. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do with them. Oh yeah, other advantage of having them attack straight across this objective is they'll be in an easier position to take out this anti-tank gun, which is arguably as important as helping take the other end of this bridge here. Oh yeah. While I'm thinking about it, okay, you push forward to that crater. You move forward a bit and take a position in woods. A few craters on the left. And then next turn, one of you, fire superiority allowing, will rush across and secure the other end of the bridge by moving towards these craters. Unfortunately, there are enemy infantry over here, so I need them to be pretty well suppressed before I cross the bridge. Oh yeah, and there's also those enemy infantry right there. Take a while for MG34 to reach its position over there. You know what? Um, this initial idea was better. Move into a position where you can overwatch this bridge. Make sure no enemies come across it. While I more or less move this whole platoon off, deal with things over here. And this armored car I'm going to leave in position to hold and continue getting credit for that objective. And yeah, that's one last thing I can do to make you useful, even though I wasted all your ammo on a non-occupied objective, is at least put some bodies on that objective so I continue to hold credit for it even after I've moved the platoon off to capture other objectives. So you had your orders. That platoon has their orders. Platoon has their orders. That platoon has their orders. I did get an additional armored car that showed up here. Okay. And the board is portable to the armored car. So we will move forward and port it. Yeah, okay. Your orders is you're not doing anything this turn. Your orders are that you're retreating. Any groups I've forgotten about? No, not really. I think everyone has their orders for this turn. We can go ahead and press go on this turn. Alright, everyone. Get them. Oh, there's more enemies over there. But having overwatching squads, this is the value of bounding. I can keep pushing forward, and why aren't you running? I did give you orders. There you go. Okay. Oh, there was a sharpshooter up here that we took quite a while to notice. Okay. There was also action over here that I should observe. So, how has that been playing out? We have apparently identified that there are indeed enemy troops on this objective. I guess that hill off in the distance is causing some problems. Now, possibly I should resume the advance from this direction. And then these platoons can kind of swap positions as this one moves left and hooks over that way. Okay, enemy is actually actively controlling that objective over there. And we're taking a casualty, or a couple of casualties in that squad. You know what? Next term, I'm gonna have you back up to about here, so, and focus on providing fire support. Anything else interesting going on anywhere? That armored car got away. These guys have managed to deploy into line. I think... yeah, I do want to swing them around this way. Then they're going to pop out of the woods over here. Which means, for the sake of ease of organization, I shouldn't have split the squads just yet. But it's okay, it's okay. Oh. Infantry contacts in the woods could make things a little bit more interesting. Trying to clear those woods. Maybe I should hit the woods from this angle, clear that way, and then swing around and try to contest these positions here. Those guys haven't reached their positions yet, which is annoying. Yeah, just a little annoying. Alright. Okay, more reinforcements. Tanks. Or... yes, tanks. Panzer IICs. And these ones have main gun ammo, which means they're the anachronistic Panzer IIFs that I replaced with Panzer IICs, so these are actually canonically Panzer IIs, not just Panzer IIs without main gun ammo that are supposed to be standing in for Panzer Is. You know, a Panzer II without main gun ammo is not a perfect stand-in for a Panzer I, because they do have, you know, two-man crew, somewhat better, you know, crew ergonomics there. Or two-man turret crew, so somewhat better crew ergonomics there, but, good enough. And also I think the Panzer IIC has like 16 millimeters armor to Panzer I's 13 millimeters armor, but close enough. I'm not gonna... okay. Platoon. Got a platoon of Panzer IICs and a Panzer IV-C. I have not identified any anti-tank weapons facing this way, so I may be able to push forward more or less unimpeded with the tanks over on this flank. Oh, and another thing while I'm thinking about it, see these tanks at their actual size. Yeah, and let's get back to slightly easier interface size. So, Ground conditions are damp, so I do need to worry a little bit about bogging. But not a lot. Okay, any other tanks elsewhere? Nope, just the ones that I've already spotted. Alright, if you reverse a little bit. How to push forward here? I don't think I want to move my guys out of these top floors just yet. Putting down good fire there. Now then, what to do with this platoon? Honestly, I could still have him push straight in. There's a little bit of a hill here, which breaks line of sight with anything really beyond the hill. And then as they crest over the hill, they could take a lot of these forces by surprise. there might be advantages in doing things that way. Alternatively, could have him concentrate in the woods and push through to clear the woods out. Might be a good way. And presumably there's enemy forces in that trench there. Do I want to push in this way, then turn right? Do I want to push in this way, then turn left? Pushing this way. I think I'd spotted an anti-tank gun around here. Yeah. Right there. Pushing this way first takes out that anti-tank gun sooner. I don't think that gun is in a particularly good spot to threaten the tanks that I'm about to bring up. But it'd be good to take it out. Okay, what kind of movement should we do? Run, contact, assault. Contact, they might stop. No, they'll stop as soon as they see something to shoot at or something shoots at them. So, they might not make it all the way. On the other hand, if I have them run, they could keep going even when something's shooting at them, and they'd be better suited to stop and to shoot back. Assault is a good balance between them, but is very tiring. Very tiring. And there might not be anyone there at all for them to shoot at. So it'll just be wasting energy, and they'll have to sit and recover a bit before they can actually push forward and clear some of these guys out. I think I'm gonna take the risk and run. We haven't spotted anyone so far. I'm gonna close up a little bit. Alright. These guys are staying put. These guys are continuing to fan out. These guys are pushing forward. These guys are pushing forward. Tanks are moving up to fan out. And I should go see what the dog wants. I think I'm just about ready to start the next turn. I've just realized that that's Belmont Farm there. So I guess if any demons pop up. Bad joke. Okay. Let's go. Ooh, these guys are causing some trouble. Okay, abandoning that plan. Oh, there's another platoon. Anything else happening over here? Tanks are starting to move. Fire coming in here. These guys are starting to move into their position. Alright, I'm thinking I'm gonna pull this platoon back into these woods and move back into position over here to launch an attack across this area here into this clump of trees. Take out this anti-tank gun. This platoon here, I'm going to move across the river, take up positions in these woods, and then start pushing into the chateau. Actually, maybe we should start pushing in the chateau right now. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of resistance, and there may be enemy infantry attempting to cross the field there. Looking over here. Oh. We've taken that objective. Okay. And more reinforcements. More half-tracks. Oh, bugger. Half-tracks with... Yeah, okay, now this... Okay, I think those Panzer Grenadiers may have MG42s that I forgot to get rid of. Hopefully that shouldn't make too much difference. Like the half-tracks themselves are properly equipped with MG34s. I think those guys have 34s. Okay, you know, we might be fine. Okay, yeah. That squad has MG42s. Not ideal. So I guess that means I have 3 platoons coming in on this flank. Leave them there in that position, out of necessity. That squad will run up to the wall. And in coming turns, we're going to rush the chateau. Right then, as for events over here, I'll give these guys another turn or so to get in position. How are we looking here? Some of these teams are starting to look pretty tired, so I'm going to give them a turn to rest. Then we're going to concentrate in the scattered trees on this end of the road over here to assault this bit of trench here. And then we'll have to decide either to push right or push straight ahead. 2 squads right, 2 squads straight. And start. Probably push right. That'll make this end of the bridge pretty secure, so we can start moving some more guys across in earnest. And then we'll push in here and clear out the boys des Logas. Oh yeah, and then I might circle back around to that bridge. Okay. I do want to give an order, give some orders to my Panzer IV here. Let's get it moving forward. Haven't lost any tanks to bogging just yet. Okay, let's go. Chateau de Blaye. Like Bloody Chateau or something like that. Could turn out to be an appropriate name. Oh, 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 ouch. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Sure does look like there's only one enemy squad there. Okay, I'm gonna want to check on... Enemy anti-tank gun is hitting my tank. Right. I knew about that. I should have maybe been a little bit more cautious regarding that, and these guys are not running back into the woods and quite as quickly as I would like. Okay, let's rewind and take a look at... Actually... Yeah, there. Watch things at this scale here. Oh! I didn't know about that gun. That is, that does change things a little bit. That's okay. I can account for that gun. Okay. Gun's damaged there, but otherwise the tank is okay. Panzer IV has... Okay, that one doesn't have any ammo, so it is clearly meant to be a Panzer I. There, it exactly says Unit Panzer I. Okay, and these guys are resting. Okay. There was the one surprise with the enemy anti-tank gun showing up there. Other than that, I think we're good. Well, this poor squad is getting shredded by this gun over here, which that has to be like a 75 mil or something with a significant high explosive round. That's definitely not a 25 mil. Because 25 mil anti-tank guns don't even have explosive rounds issued for them. Caliber is just too small for a high explosive round to pack any punch. Okay. Excellent. More reinforcements. Let's find, where are they? That must be them up there. And also possibly... Hey, another 75mm FO. And boy, do I have just the target for him. Can he... No. Okay. Well, we're just gonna have to get you moved. Get to the edge. Have you run? Get to the edge of those woods there. Hopefully, in a turn or so, you'll have line of sight. Be able to call in fire there on those guys. And it looks like we've got more Panzer Grenadiers here, another platoon, which is perfect. Oh, and a 20mm flak. Let's go ahead and dismount the 20mm flak and set it up right here, just in case there's actually enemy aircraft for it to shoot at. Okay. Okay, we do want that rifle squad to dismount. If I could move them them about there. You about there. You about there, and you about there. Basically, start moving this platoon forward, and it's going to start on clearing these woods out, with particular attention to starting over here. These guys, on the other hand, let's get them moving right away. Take a turn to dash across there. And then the turn after that, I'm gonna start moving them forward to clear out that trench. Once that trench is cleared, they'll shift right, clear over there. These guys are gonna push forward, moving towards clearing that trench there, and then push forward here. Oh, and let's move a couple of my tanks back into better cover. Oh, are you in any danger? Yes, you are in danger from getting the tank down there. You have just reversed out of danger. You... Let's actually move you a little bit further forward. Get you out of danger. let's move you a little. Okay, no, okay, no, that shouldn't result in any collision there. Let's have you reverse back just a little bit, but I do want you to, at the end of that reverse, still be able to shoot at those infantry. You take advantage of this slight rise in the terrain for protection, and push forward to observe that bridge there. Make sure the enemy doesn't cross it, like I'm sure they would like to. That squad's almost gone. I want you to dash across that open ground. Oh, you're broken. That is far from ideal. Start moving you forward. In fact, we'll move you as far as the bridge. By the time you get there, I'm sure this platoon will have dealt with the anti-tank gun. Alright. Oh, right, I have these mortars. Neither of them are really in a position to shoot over there, but yeah, these are exactly the sort of weapons I should have. Okay, yeah, next turn, I'm gonna get some of these mortars into some of these craters here. Oh, that dash apparently did not go well. Blimey. Oh! Oh! Yeah, I'll check out what's happening over on the right in a moment. It sounds interesting. The 20 mil has definitely gotten into action. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's... ouch. That... okay, yeah, that position back there is proven to be a problem. It is proving to be a very serious problem. Can't just not push, though. Don't have enough time to do this the right way. Okay. So, we got action going on over here. Oop, he's taking a casualty. Ooh, okay, we're getting our own 75mm HE into action here. Yeah. Fans of twos are getting into action. Alright, starting to bring that trench under fire there. Okay, you know this is the right scale now because that looks more like 48 meters. Yeah, that looks a lot more like 48 meters than that. That looks like, what, maybe 10 meters? 20 meters? 20 meters. These guys have moved up a bit. And that guy still has a ways to move up. And I need to be a little bit more discerning in how I order these guys to move up. I've got to start taking that AT gun under fire. Get these mortars somewhere they have line of sight that far back. Yeah, about there. And the other one, we'll get to that crater. Be going to take quite that long of a route. Alright, I'm going to have these guys, as they move up, stick close to the bank, where the ground is low enough that that gun back there shouldn't be able to see them. From there, maneuver into a position where the chateau is between them and the gun, and then assault the chateau. Sneak left a little, maybe. Guy's still broken. Alright, you're still on your way. No chance of... yeah, no. Not gonna be able to accomplish anything as far as getting fire on the enemy until he's out of the woods. Okay. Idea is get them lined up fairly concentrated since it's close terrain, and then assault across directly towards the trench. Catching it in the rear with hopefully no one expecting an attack from that direction. Okay. There's mines, which good that we've spotted them there rather than stumbling on them the hard way. Okay. And I guess I don't have any further orders to give over here at the moment. And then just, you know, keep it up. Okay, do I have any additional orders to give anywhere else? Are there any troops that I haven't found or thought to use yet? Who are you? Light machine gun team. Right. Let's put you about there. And start dueling with those guys. Okay. What happened with that? Well, yeah, at least the AI adapted. Okay, I guess, let's get started on the next turn. Excellent. I'm picking fire from over there. Excellent. Maybe now is about the right time to move this armored car back forward. Okay, and take a look at events over here. Okay, I see enemy artillery is dropping. Heh! Okay, that amuses me. This guy apparently did do his job. Enemy's not getting across that bridge easy. Alright, and let's turn our attention over here. Okay. Any other events elsewhere I need to be paying attention to? I think those were the main events. Infantry are starting to move up over here. I don't think there's quite enough room to dismount my Panzer Grenadiers here and push them forward. Those guys were able to move forward, apparently without encountering any problems. That squad's taken a couple of casualties. Need to bring down the mass. Need overwhelming mass and firepower. You guys, focus on shooting. And you go ahead and push forward once more. You guys keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on keeping on. Alright, you guys take another turn to move into position and get rested. Mortar! You... Oh, I can get you to get some fire on these a-holes over here. Press that gun. We have... Where's the other mortar team? Is it still moving into position? It is not moving into position. Oh, wow. When did it take those casualties and how? Give you guys another turn to recover your nerves. We don't have a lot of turns to go. We got 25 turns left. We gotta... Who are you? Don't say that. Don't be giving me contact icons I don't have an immediate plan to deal with. Okay. Do have a plan. Deal with that contact icon. You half-track. Get up there and point your machine gun down that road. You do the same thing, but from this way. All right. Oh, ow. Oh! Got another gun shooting at us from somewhere. Oh. You are a thorn in my side. Alright, not a lot of activity going on over here. Let's switch our attentions to events going on over here. I have given you orders to place that that trench under fire. Okay, this is turning out to be a fairly intense fight. Not sure I've had any fights that haven't been good fights so far. This hill is considered contested now. Oh, and apparently I'm considered to own that bridge now. Okay, was there anyone I missed? Everyone appears to be doing more or less what I expected of them. Okay, this machine gunner is still moving into position. Apparently does not have a good line of sight on that guy. We'll have to adjust their position next turn. Okay, anything else? Ooh, yes, you're in position. How to exploit that next turn? I guess the obvious answer is I want you to fire down there, but really what I want is fire up here on this pain in the ass of a gun here. I think this has got to be a 75 mil. Because it is lobbing some painful high explosives at me that I don't think... No, a 25 mil can't throw high explosives at me like that, and I don't think a 47 mil would be causing me quite so much pain with its high explosives. So I think that's got to be like a model 1897 artillery piece, 75 mil artillery piece. That gun I'm about to take out pretty soon. An infantry squad is suppressed. Okay, I'm about to push in and take out this gun here. None of them have caused me quite so much grief as this one right here. So everyone here has recovered their nerves enough to relocate over to the flank. We've got to take this gun out. I cannot tolerate its existence any longer. I didn't fully appreciate that it was such an effective variety of gun at first. I didn't fully appreciate that it was in an effective position. The line of sight this spot has. Okay, I can see now. Yeah, it's good. You can see that hill quite well. It is less obvious that it should be able to inflict such punishment on my forces over here from this position, but yeah, I can see that. Alright. Cannot wait on that thing. Oh, man. Alright, I will expend every last one of these 21 50mm HE shells just on bombarding that one position. Okay, how are you guys looking? You're tiring. Okay, if I were to ask you to target, say, about there, it would take about 2 minutes for you to bring fire down there. Okay. I think I will have you guys push forward a little bit more, then rest for a few turns until those tiring statuses are probably soon to be tired, since I'm going to be asking you to run through woods for a turn. Have returned to ready, at which point these guys will probably been under fire long enough that you should have an easy time clearing them out. You get in that trench. You get in that trench. Okay, is there anything else I want to do at this particular moment? Oh, right, I want to, I'll test your line of sight. Okay. Would it be better if I pushed you up little bit more, or would that actually matter? Hard to tell. Can you... Okay. I do want you to go ahead and shoot that guy. And I think I'm going to ask you to move up and clear that bridge for us, enemy resistance permitting. That group's taking some heavy losses. You still have line of sight. Here, you do. Excellent. Well, then blast those guys. Yes, use the main gun. Okay. Right then. And that advance here should be covered from that French gun there. This guy will still be able to shoot at them, but he is not as much of a threat. As the gun is. Okay. I think we're ready to start the next turn. Someone is bringing mortars or artillery down on top of this armored car, which, you know, I'm happy for them to not use that artillery on my infantry. My armored car is a lot less vulnerable to that than the infantry would be. Okay. And the chateau, is ours. I'm not sure I actually want to move in and occupy the chateau, because that gun could easily plug shells into infantry squads that show their faces out of any of these windows here. So I'm not sure I actually want to occupy the chateau until that gun's dealt with, because that gun could pose too great a risk of to anyone in there. Alright, now let's... I think I want to watch the action unfold over here next. Oh, right. Let's get realistic scale going here. I mean, getting realistic size scale here doesn't matter that much, since it's not a 1-to-1 model ratio anyway. So, this is not a 1-to-1 of what's going on. Yep, there it is. French Tow 25mm anti-tank gun. Okay, and what else is going on? Let's turn. I guess there's not a lot of movement over on this end of things. I've ordered this platoon forward a little ways. They're gonna sit there for a few minutes, resting, while the FO brings artillery down on these guys here. Once these guys have been under fire for about a minute or so, I'll call off the barrage and give these guys an assault order forward. I know I ordered you forward, I'm guessing... I gave you contact orders, so I'm guessing... Okay. Go. Okay, you have put some fire on the machine gunner. Well, but that's not an auto cannon, that's a one shot at a time cannon. Alright. We have continued movement along this road here. Oh! Right! Enemy tanks. Bugger. My half-tracks with their machine guns aren't going to be able to handle that. Obviously. Okay, right. And I specifically knew the enemy had tanks because I managed which tanks they had in the editor. Nine seconds till artillery starts falling on that target. I think that may be a Matilda. Matildas are pretty much invulnerable to anything I've got right now. I can perhaps hope to knock out the treads and get a lucky hit on the gun, which would neutralize it. Actually knocking it out is pretty much out of the question. However, there is only one of it, and it can't be everywhere, so by itself it cannot prevent me from winning the battle. It can cause me considerable problems, though. don't think there's any more observing to be done here. You have not expended any of your ammo this turn. Okay, guess we're down there. Okay, you should be able... Oh. No, you really... can't see the machine gun. Okay. Well, fine. Yes, reversing is the correct course of action. In fact, I might even suggest that you reverse a little further. Alright, it's gonna be a minute before these guys are actually in position to assault this hill here. But this whole hill needs assaulting. Of that, there can be no doubt. Okay, this area here is almost cleared out. I may not actually have a whole abundance of orders to give this turn. Oh, how is our mortar doing? It has 9 HE shells left. So far, I'm not sure it's been terribly successful in pressing that enemy gun. Okay, this one is apparently immobile. Right then. These guys are gonna rest for another turn or so. These shells will start falling in the last 20 seconds of this next turn, which... is that gonna be enough to actually start significantly suppressing these guys, or should I give it another turn? I don't want to use up too much of my ammo. That might be useful elsewhere. Alright. We should be... finishing off this lot soon. Alright, we got some surrenders here. Or a surrender. A single survivor has surrendered to us. Okay, we need to push in. Force that guy to give up. Oh, there we go. Gun knocked out. Remaining three crew members surrendered. And I have credit for .293. Oh, but I lost credit for... yeah, okay, that makes sense because I didn't keep anyone on that position. So if I want to retain credit there, I need to send someone back to that position. Any continued movement by armored vehicles. No additional identification of the armored vehicle movement. Okay, so FO is about to bring fire onto this area here. Yep. These guys need another turn to rest. They're apparently about ready. Okay. This lot... I should probably give them another turn or so to rest before I set them forward. Okay. First squad back to hold this point. The other two squads will turn around and push into these woods here. I assume no major events over here. But the Panzer IV is making itself useful. Okay. Reinforcements, excellent. Where are they? Oh, bugger. Well, we gotta go now. Because, tanks are now in line of fire of that gun. For sure, this one. Alright. Get those tanks lined up. No further actions to be made at the chateau until that position is cleared. But hang on. No. Limited time. I can't wait for that position to be cleared before I do anything further. Let's dismount. Let's dismount the Panzer Grenadiers. Oh, it is so difficult to select mounted infantry. HQ. Just trying to grab the platoon HQ, dismount him. Okay, you know what? The platoon doesn't need its HQ. I mean... Oh god. Okay. There we go. And if any engine or any Gen 1 combat mission veterans out there know of an easier way to select infantry mounted in vehicles and half-tracks, let me know, because I would love to know about that. How do I select you? Gotta be a button. Hang on. Okay. I got it. Shift V to make vehicles disappear. That's gonna make this so much... dismounting infantry so much more convenient from here on out. Okay. Now give me my vehicles back. I knew there had to be an easy way to do that. A lot of, oh. Okay, more trees. And, hang on. Hotkeys here. Buildings transparent. Okay, Shift C's unit visual scale. Ooh. Okay. And... oh, I could turn off detailed armor hits. I think I want to keep that on. Horizon range. Oh, okay. Yeah, might as well keep it at that for now. Or keep it maxed out. Okay. So now what I want to do, we've had some mortars falling down on, or some artillery falling down on these guys. Let's cancel that target. And assault in. That is fairly long assault command I'm giving. Less than 100 meters. Okay, now. I want you to push in. I want one of you. First squad. Go back that way. I do want to be getting credit for as many objective flags as possible. Okay. And there is some way to use indirect fire with on-map assets using an HQ unit that they are attached to. There was a detailed forum post about it at some point that I did read. I haven't quite been able to get it to work. I don't think I'm quite doing it right. I'll be right back. Just gonna pause the recording momentarily and go read up on that. And in an instant, when I come back, I should know how to do it. I found the post. Let's see if I can... Presumably, if the HQ unit can see and can spot for the mortar, then I should get a red line and be able to... Yeah, no, it's not working. In any case, apparently this video is like 3 hours long now, and I'm not even halfway through the time limit. So, maybe cut it here and I'll pick it up in part 2.